the Democratic Republic of Sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is a wonderful day in the neighborhood for Jeremy Greene. He's excited about his Denver Nuggets.
I just have one thing to say. Are you not entertained?
The Denver Nuggets doing something no team has ever done in the history of the NBA, and that is win back-to-back series while being down 3-1. They did it to the Utah Jazz in the first round of the playoffs, and now they've done it to the Los Angeles Clippers, who many people expected, well, hell, let's just say it, everybody expected them to be in the Western Conference Finals with the Los Angeles Lakers, and now that is not going to happen. And the saddest person on the day is not Doc Rivers, it's not Kawhi Leonard, it's the NBA front offices.
I disagree.
Really? You think that they are more excited about the upstart Nuggets going against the greatest of all time?
I mean, they're sad that they didn't get their little LA series.
Yep.
But you know what they got? The best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. They also got the second best player in the NBA, Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray.
They got like the 8th best player in the NBA too, Michael Porter Jr. What up?
Oh, it is the
I am so drunk on this Nuggets team. You thought I was going to be insufferable this morning? You have no idea.
It is the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. And we can be found on all of the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Like, share, and follow. We appreciate all the comments as well on the videos. And don't forget, we have a comment of the week contest every week. So when you come hard. And if you come at the king, I said it.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
That's right. I was going
to. If you're going to use if you're using cum lines, so I'll steal the good one because you know I use it all the time.
The cum lines. What is this? Craps?
Yeah. Oh, it feels good. It's just a good day to be alive. It's a good day to be alive. I think it's funny how many people thought I would bail on the Nuggets. Do you realize? Do you see what's on my? I don't bail on teams. When I'm in, I'm in. I've been a Jets fan for almost 3 decades. I was bred for this. I feel like Bane. I was born in the darkness.
You merely inherited it. Last night Jamal Murray scored 40 points. Nikola Jokic had a triple-double. And they overcame a double-digit deficit for the 3rd game in a row. Granted, this one was in the first half, but still, man, the LA Clippers. I cannot imagine what it was like in that locker room afterwards.
Oh, it was real sad. It was Doc Rivers going, "Well, they just beat us. I don't know. Don't blame Kawhi.
What do you think, Doc, about those pregame speeches now?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think there's a pregame speech that's going to fix the fact that Kawhi Leonard went 6 for 22 from the floor and Paul George was 4 of 16.
Right.
You remember what I said on the ESPN show yesterday? When you play loose, you tend to play better.
Yep.
The Clippers were wound tighter than a banjo string for the vast majority of that game. So, and people have asked, I have gotten 100 text messages since this game ended last night. Are you taking the Nuggets? Hell yeah, I'm taking the Nuggets.
He's taking the Nuggets over the Lakers.
I took them over the Clippers, who I'm not sure weren't better than the Lakers. Hell yeah, I'm taking them over the Clippers.
You're insane.
I'm here for the long haul, baby.
Yeah, he is completely drunk on this Denver Nuggets team. 104-89 was the final score last night, and if you're the Los Angeles Clippers, let's talk about them before we move on to talking about the Nuggets and the Lakers.
Okay, I'll spare a few seconds for the losers.
Right. So as you're, as the fiddle's playing with the Titanic sinking there, what do you do? What do you do if you're the Clippers going into this off season? What can you do?
Move the team off an ancient Indian burial ground, which I'm pretty sure that's what they did.
They may have.
That team is cursed from hell. And you're talking to a guy that's pulled for the Knicks and the Jets for an extended period of time.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen – at halftime I was watching it going, I almost text this out on Twitter, and I was afraid I was going to jinx. I mean, I have 13 tattooed all over my body, so I do believe in superstitions. I was afraid I was going to jinx the team. At halftime, I went, I don't see a way the Nuggets lose this game. When they were down 2 at halftime, I said, I don't see a humanly possible way they lose this game. If the Clippers were going to win, they were going to come out hot, and it was never going to be a game. As soon as it was competitive, they're going to get tighter the closer it is, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
In the second half, they couldn't hit water off a bridge.
No, it was a pretty bad performance for the Clippers. But I mean, is the answer just more time together? Because there was a lot of that talk.
I said that from the get-go.
This is just year one of us together.
I said that from the get-go. You can't just roll a ball out with this many guys that want to score and just assume it's going to work. Mm-hmm. And it didn't. Here's the thing. Look at that Nuggets team that played last night. All right, you've got Paul Millsap, who's been there for what seems like an eternity. It hasn't been as long as I think it has been. Joker, Murray, Harris. Plumlee's been there for a minute. This is Porter's first year. Torrey Craig, Monte Morris. I mean, the whole team's been together forever. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I think they beat the Lakers. Cohesion matters because this is not a stereotypical playoff series. This is not, we get 2 days layoff to figure out what we're going to do in game 2. Mm-hmm. No, they're going to, I don't know, when is the first game of this series? 17th?
I have not seen that.
Oh, it hasn't actually been posted yet.
Yeah.
So that means it's probably going to be the 18th.
Yeah.
So the Lakers are going to have 2 days to figure out how we're going to deal with the best passing big man that's ever played in the NBA. And people will think that's, hyperbole. It's not. This is the best passing big man that's ever played in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you deal with it.
Well, hell, it was a couple of years ago at the All-Star Weekend when Jokic won the skills competition.
He's a 7'1" point guard that's built like a nose tackle.
And I think it might have been Steph Curry that said it. That said, Nikola Jokic is the best passer in the NBA.
Yeah,
not the best passing big man, the best passer in the NBA.
They're the most fun team to watch. You want me to my full fait accompli? You want to know why I jumped on this team? Because they're the most fun team in the NBA to watch.
Yeah.
Joker is a unicorn. I don't think he was bred of this planet. Jamal Murray is a guy that I have been on for way longer than everybody else. Now, granted, he was inconsistent. He's also like 22 years old. Mm-hmm. Because he's been in the league forever, everybody feels like, he's an old, wily veteran. No, he's not. I mean, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's still a young guy. Mm-hmm. And Porter's 20 years old. This is a fun team. And Mike Malone's a good coach. Straight up, Mike Malone's a good coach. Mm-hmm. And he outcoached Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers did not have there was no plan of how to stop Jamal Murray. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at him. And they still couldn't stop him.
Scored 40 points last night, and it was, what's that make? What's that make now? Was that 5 games in this playoffs that he scored 40 or more?
He's had a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamal Murray is a legitimate superstar in this league. Mm-hmm. People gave them shit when they gave him a max deal. You shouldn't have, because he's worth every dime of it.
Yeah.
And he allows them to do different things, and this team is multiple, and they're just different. And Torrey Craig, again, he served to show it last night. He's the underrated part of this team. He's the guy you don't know that he is the straw that stirs the drink. I never say that phrase right.
Yeah.
Ever. And I'm telling you, all right, so you've given me shit all morning because I'm still picking the Nuggets to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
Who has a better coach, Mike Malone or Frank Vogel? I'm going to take Mike Malone.
Okay.
Younger superstar. I have to. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis hurts his eyebrows once a week and has to sit down because his back hurts or his fingernails hurt or something hurts. And now he has to guard Nikola Jokic because they don't have anybody else that can guard him.
Yeah.
Please, God, tell me you're going to put JaVale McGee on him. Mm-hmm. Or Dwight Howard. I don't care which one. I don't care.
Neither of those guys can run with him.
Well, and that's the thing. People are going to look at this series and go, well, they couldn't play McGee and Howard against the Rockets.
Yeah, right.
They're better when they don't. Their best scenario here is that they play Davis on Jokic, and I think he'll get in foul trouble. Mm-hmm. Repeatedly. Because he's so damn hard to guard. And Anthony Davis is one of the best defenders in the league. I'm not saying he's not. He also has a habit of getting frustrated. Now, on the opposite side, how does Jokic guard Anthony Davis? I don't know. That's going to be a difficult matchup for him. Mm-hmm. But I just look at the firepower, and you know what? I never say this. I never take the opportunity to say this. every once in a while, it's just a team of destiny. Things are going to happen. They played 6 elimination games in 2 rounds. Won them all.
Yep. I don't like their chances against the Lakers.
You don't have to. You are not welcome on this bandwagon now.
Oh, I'm not getting on the bandwagon.
You have not been on this bandwagon. Nope. I have been riding this shit by myself. I have gotten comfortable. I have spread out, and now my feet are in your chair. So fuck all the way off.
I'm not going down that road with you because I don't know who stops LeBron James.
I don't either. I don't. But. This is, you would have said the same thing about, I don't know who stops Kawhi Leonard. Well, last night, Kawhi Leonard stopped his damn self.
Right.
I mean, trust me, the defense helped, but when you go, what did I say, 6 of 22?
Yep.
That's slightly on you. And I'm going to be honest with you, this Lakers team's going to play tight, too. They would have played a little freer against the Clippers. I firmly believe that, because they're supposed to win this series. There's no excuse in the NBA circles for them to lose this series.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think the mentality is there.
All right, let's play a fun game. You keep talking, and I'm going to bring something up, and I want you to tell me where I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't think that the Los Angeles Lakers have that type of mentality.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will start pressing if it gets to a close series, but I honestly don't see this as a close series.
All right, so tell me who has the playoff pedigree of players that play for the Lakers.
Who has the playoff pedigree? LeBron James.
Okay, that's one.
That's
Rajon Rondo's the other.
Well, yeah.
Danny Green's the other.
Okay.
From there, this is a bunch of dudes that have never been here before. Kyle Kuzma's never been in the playoffs before. And he's a really integral part. Because here's the thing. The Lakers try to grind games out. How did they beat the Rockets?
How did they beat them? They were way more talented.
And they played good defense.
Yeah.
The Rockets couldn't just score at will. You're talking about how do they guard LeBron? How do they guard Anthony Davis? I'm saying the same thing conversely. How do they guard Jamal Murray? Rajon Rondo's not the guy to guard Jamal Murray. Just throwing that out there. Because Jamal Murray is really long and a really good shooter. And you've got a linebacker that's setting pick and rolls for him at the top of the key.
Right.
Rajon Rondo is not a good pick and roll defender. Just let that be known. He's a very good on-ball defender. He's not a good pick and roll defender. So I'm just telling you, all the people thought I was going to jump off and say, look at my Fun-Filled Nuggets. They got to the finals. Hell no. We're winning a title. 2019-2020 NBA champion.
We're going all the way to the title.
And
I like your confidence. It's one thing I've always liked about you is your confidence. And when you get on something, you just don't let it go.
I don't waffle.
You're like a damn Rottweiler.
It's the gambler in me.
Right.
All right, you're going to have bad weeks. Well, I mean, let's think about my mentality. All right, so we did the gambling show here Sunday.
Yep.
Football, pro football, the over-unders went terribly for me. But I have a silver lining. Against the spread, I was over 500. Woohoo! Move on to next week.
Yep.
I don't greatly overreact. When I saw what I saw in the Nuggets, I'm not going to unsee it. I'm not going to unsee this is the hardest team to guard in the NBA. It is. Whether you give me the Clippers, you give me the Lakers, give me anybody else. Now, the team that could scare me is the Heat because they have a shitload of defenders.
Yep.
And they can score.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet. So I don't have to cross that bridge till we get there.
No, you got to get past LeBron James and Anthony Davis and the Lakers first, and I feel like it's going to be fun to watch.
Brent Condella has a really good point. Tank just never seems to want to ride the lightning with me, and 4 years later, you just never want me to win. You were on the Clippers, now you're on the Lakers. You talk shit about my teams all the time.
Yep,
I do the same thing to him.
Exactly. It's called controversy. See, without controversy, if I just agree with everything you say, then we don't have as much.
This is one of those times you don't have to agree with me. Frankly, I don't want you to.
I'm not going to.
You've been off this bandwagon. I don't want you on it now. You bring that KOD kiss of death with you, and I don't want it in my happy, nuggety space.
Right. I'm not saying the Nuggets are a bad team because they're not. I like a lot of their pieces, and because you have taken up that mantle, I've opened myself up to believing that this Nuggets team can be a little bit more than they are. But when you going up against LeBron James and the Lakers, I'm completely out.
LeBron is a scary force. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely,
He
and
is.
Anthony Davis is going to be unbelievable.
Anthony Davis has never played in a conference finals.
That's fine.
I'm just telling you, it matters.
He's never been on a team that's
Look how bad Paul George was for extended stretches in that Nugget series.
Are you telling me that Paul George and Anthony Davis are equal?
They're equal head cases. Anthony Davis is a more talented player. He just does different stuff.
Right.
I mean, you're making it sound like Paul George is some bag of dicks. He's still a top 10 player in the NBA. And his first time in the second round, well, this was his second time in the second round of the playoffs. He got tight as a damn banjo string and couldn't shoot.
Yep.
Do I think that could happen to Anthony Davis being guarded by Nikola Jokic and having to defend him on the other end? Hell yeah, I think that could happen. I think this series could look a lot like some of those Cleveland teams pre-Kyrie Irving, where it's LeBron and a bunch of dudes.
Right.
I firmly believe that, as a matter of fact.
I don't believe. Look, I like Nikola Jokic. I have said.
He's the easiest superstar in the history of the league to like.
Mm-hmm. I have said for 3 years that Nikola Jokic is one of my favorite players in the NBA.
First of all, he looks like Ivan Drago. He kind of talks like Ivan Drago. And he's just cool as shit. He's just cool as shit. I want to go hang out with him bad, like a lot. Like, he would be my best friend in the NBA, and I firmly believe that.
Nice.
And I could just see, what is it, Coors? Coors is from the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
I could see me and Nikola Jokic just pounding Coors Lights all night long. And just talking immense shit. Because I think he would be a load of fun.
I'm glad you want to be friends with him.
I love this team. This is the most I've ever. I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is the most I've ever loved an NBA team.
Really?
Yes. I never loved a Knicks team like this because they just kept screwing me. Every time I turned around, they're throwing out Charles Oakley or hiring Isaiah Thomas or trading for Carmelo Anthony or just screwing me every chance they got.
Well, you got 5 more games with them, so there you go.
Oh, no, I'm in. I'm locked and loaded. Yeah. Nuggets from here on. I don't care if they get swept by the Lakers. This is my team moving forward.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
I am not. No. You know what the Nuggets don't have? James Dolan. I don't have to deal with James Dolan anymore. Yeah. I am in.
You're all in on the Denver Nuggets.
All in.
I like it.
And I look good in their colors. I like blue.
Okay.
Blue looks good on me. Okay. That color blue, not that god awful blue and orange.
I don't like their prospects going up against the Lakers.
It's fine.
And I think it's going to be over in 5.
I feed on your cynicism.
I think it's over in 5. You think it goes 7?
Shit. Over in 5.
Yep. They'll get 1.
Nugs in 7.
Nugs in 7. He's going full in. And if that does happen, then they will await the winner of the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. This was a game for all the ages. Mm-hmm. It was phenomenal. And it lived up to everything that I thought this series was going to be. I did not feel like anyone had the major advantage. Boston at a couple of times got out to, 10, 12-point leads, and then within just a matter of minutes, the Miami Heat would erase those leads. It was real close down the stretch. They were trading bucket for bucket, and in the end, it came out to be Jimmy Butler making a big-time play, and then Bam Adebayo making the block of the century.
That was fantastic. I mean, Tatum traveled right before it. Just let that be known.
Bam's hand was all the way back, and somehow still had the ability to just it was like Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top. You've never seen that movie? Good Lord.
I've never even heard of that movie.
It's the greatest arm wrestling movie ever made.
He thought I would watch an arm wrestling movie. I haven't seen The Karate Kid, and you thought I'd watch an arm wrestling movie. I think you jumped that one in line a little bit.
That's exactly what happened. Bam Adebayo just readjusted and just took it to the ground.
Here's the thing. You're looking at this series slightly differently than I am.
Okay.
I can tell just by your little opening diatribe there. We haven't talked about this.
Yeah.
Do not look at the box score. I want to ask you a question. I want to see if you get it right.
Okay.
There were 2 players for the Celtics that had a positive plus-minus. One was +3. One was +12. Name them.
Marcus Smart?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Daniel Tice?
Daniel Tice was the +12.
Okay.
Jason Tatum was the +3.
Okay.
When Daniel Tice goes out, this team struggles like hell. And that's exactly what I told you was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Because Daniel Tice is the only one that can defend Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
That's it. And I think that's going to be a problem because you know who else saw that? Eric Spoelstra saw that. And he went, you know what we should do? We should go right at that guy. Because if we get him in foul trouble, they are screwed.
Right. Okay.
Now, I mean, this is going to be a fantastic series. This is going to be the series that we wanted Clippers-Lakers to be. And I think Lakers-Nuggets is going to be fantastic. Obviously a little biased. But I think this is going to be a fun series. But nothing changed my opinion of Heat in 6. Jason Tatum is a man. And I still look at this and go, you know what? You went 10 of 24 from the field. I don't like the prognosis for you going forward.
Do you expect that to continue throughout the series, though? Do you
I think every game's going to be like this. I think every game gets more physical.
Yep.
I think Jimmy Butler gets more in his feelings as this goes on and gets more aggressive. Iguodala's the same way. Jay Crowder's the same way. I just look at this series and go, this is going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
We were talking yesterday before the ESPN show. This is those guys that say, I don't watch the NBA because they don't play defense. Yep, this is the series. You jump back in here.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a slugfest. There's going to be punches thrown in this series. I would almost bet on it. Somebody's catching one in the jaw.
Jay Crowder is going to be involved in that in some fashion.
Probably. Jay Crowder is, of all the people in pro sports that scare the shit out of me, Jay Crowder's like number 4.
This game was so interesting, I actually got my entire family to watch it. That to me tells me everything. Because normally, Dad's watching basketball, screw it. And last night, we were all sitting on the couch, glued to the end of this ball game. And it just makes me happy.
Here's one thing that I haven't, not trying to go backwards, but here's one thing that I haven't discussed about this Lakers-Nuggets series.
Okay.
My wife is a huge LeBron James fan. Like, huge. It's going to be a little testy in my house for the next couple of weeks.
It's okay. Little added wrinkle for you.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the kids were sitting down and I was watching the game and I was just, making comments every possession. And it didn't matter who had the ball. I was just rooting for a good game, and they were asking me, who you rooting for? We can't tell who you want to win. I said, I don't care.
I don't
give a damn. It's everything that I wanted it to be. I'm not invested fully in either of these teams because I like pieces of all of these or both of these teams. Marcus Smart, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Tyler Hero. Holy shit, Tyler Hero can shoot the basketball.
This is an easy series to consume whether you have a rooting interest or not. And for the people that say, I don't have an NBA team, this is a fun one to watch for you.
Yep.
Because you don't have to pull for anybody. This is as good as basketball gets. This is good defense. This is good offense. This is 2 good coaches. I think this is 2 of the 4 best coaches in the NBA. In Brad Stevens and Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, probably.
2 of the 4 best rosters in the NBA, which it should be because we're in the conference finals. I get that.
Right.
This is an exciting series that I'm looking forward to a lot.
I didn't see anything in the game last night that I like you bringing up the Daniel Tice thing. I had not noticed that much of a difference.
There was a huge difference in Daniel Tice. I will also say there was a breakaway on a fast break with Daniel Tice where I'm pretty sure he ran like a 4.40 because he outran everybody for the Heat and was just standing in the basket like, here.
But I didn't see anything in the game last night that will sway me off of picking the Celtics in 6.
Yeah, I'm good. Heat in 6.
Yeah.
Good. You're basically saying the Celtics are going to win 4 of the next 5 games, and I don't see it. So
if every game comes down to the end like this one did, it's anybody's series.
Oh, I mean,
it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I was surprised a little bit by the fact that the Toronto series went on as long as it did between Toronto and the Heat, but.
Oh, I was stunned that went to Game 7.
But when you got down to the end of the game, it was just who wants it more in clutch time.
And I just don't see any way that a team led by Jimmy Butler and Jay Crowder and Andre Iguodala and all these young guys, I struggle to believe that that anybody's going to want it more than them.
Right. No, and to answer one of the questions in the comments, no, there has never been another arm wrestling movie made, to my knowledge. Don't think so.
Champion, apparently.
It was
in the comments.
Once Over the Top was made, they couldn't do it again. There was no reason. We have covered it. It's got all the drama that you could want. It's got the loving story of a father and a son reuniting. It's got Big Mac trucks and a dude named Hawk. What else could you need?
I would need a lot more than that. I was the little kid that was like, hey, you want to go to the tractor pull? Why?
Why?
Why would I want to do that?
Why would I want to do that?
I want to sit here and play video games and watch basketball.
Yeah.
You go watch trucks bounce off each other. I'm good. I mean, you're talking about a movie where two dudes are holding hands aggressively. I'm good. I'll pass.
I mean, if you want to be weird about it, you can be weird about it.
That's what I usually do.
Hadn't looked at it that way, usually, the battle of brute strength, but no, Jeremy wants to see, or Jeremy looks at it and only sees
I'm a realist. I see things from what they are. It's two dudes holding hands aggressively. I'm out. I'll pass.
This is like basketball. It's just other dudes slapping at each other's balls.
Nope. There's a point there.
There's a point to every competition. Prove who's the strongest.
Kevin Vick, bingo. And he does this a lot. If you're using over the top to get me to watch movies, it's no wonder I haven't watched them. He does this shit a lot. And usually I can take the first two sentences of the plot synopsis and go, you want me to watch a movie about a bunch of people that went to an island with dinosaurs and the dinosaurs got out.
Yep.
It's Jurassic Park.
Yep.
And no, I've never seen it.
You're missing out. You're truly missing out. Let's talk some football.
Yeah.
So apparently, Michael Thomas is hurt worse than we thought. It's not,
and I think it's funny that every Twitter comment about that has been the same. They're gonna have to put him on IR, or he's just gonna come back because he has that will to play. They can just make him inactive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that hard. It's not like he's gonna be in a uniform on the sideline. Like, here I go.
Right.
Fuck you, Sean Payton.
Yeah. Stop me, coach. Here I go. No, he's got the high ankle sprain, and we don't know when he's going to be back. Apparently, the team has been bandying about the idea of putting him on IR, which would keep him out for at least 3 weeks, because that's
4 weeks.
Huh?
4 weeks. It's 3 weeks if you're. Oh wait, no, you're right.
I think I'm right.
Because it's I hate these new rules.
Right. That's the way the IR has changed this year, is that if you get put on IR, you can come back after 3 weeks. And he has been fighting this because he thinks he can be able to come back sooner. And I don't know if that's the right thing. I mean, I get he's a guy that's been on the field for every game except for, I think, one in his entire career. He missed one game his rookie season. And I get that you've got that mentality that you always want to be out there on the field. You're the best player on your team, best player on the field in most cases. But high ankle sprains are not something to fuck with. I said this yesterday on the ESPN Asheville show, and this was just when it was reported that he had done something to a high ankle injury, that he was going to be questionable for this week. Well, usually when you see that, if a guy tries to play on some kind of a tweak, you're going to more than likely within the next week or so end up with seeing him do something worse.
Not to change the topic, but we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Big Ten's coming back in October.
Nice. Oh,
season will start the weekend of October 24th.
You are so insufferable.
Come at the king, you best not miss. Where's my bell?
So they've made the official announcement.
Yes, official. Big Ten back October 24th.
We were waiting for the announcement last night, and it never came.
It's from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Apparently somebody... Yeah, bell!
He's got a
hey,
bell.
It's from the faraway bell. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a bell on our ESPN show that I ring every time I'm right because I'm insufferable and I love being right.
Yep. And if you don't know about the bell, you should tune into the afternoon show every weekday afternoon at 3 o'clock on ESPN Asheville. You can get it everywhere on the iHeartRadio app for absolutely free. 3 to 5.
So now we got to go down this rabbit hole. We didn't prep this at all, so this will be fun. You realize what all this means, right?
It means the Big Ten's back.
It means they're going to be in the playoff.
Right. They're back in the college football playoff. They're going to be back in the polls real soon, which means, Carolina will take a dive in the poll again.
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out the logistics of how this is going to work.
Okay.
Because the ACC is going to play the ACC and SEC are playing their championship games on December 19th. I understand that it's the 12th or the 19th for the ACC. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the 19th. They've already got a game this week that's had to be postponed. So just understand they built this in for a reason. So you're going to have their championship on the 19th. Mm-hmm. If I'm just doing math, just sheerly, from the 24th on, there are 10 weeks to the end of the year from the 24th on.
Okay.
The Big Ten would have to play 10 consecutive weeks to be done 1 week later. Mm-hmm. That's pre-championship. I still think it's going to be a struggle, but I think they're going to be in it.
Oh, I think so too.
I think they're going to be in it.
I mean, to me, that's the only reason that they made this decision.
No, they made this decision because people like me have crucified them.
I think it's the only reason they made the decision to come back this early.
I disagree. You can't take that. Watch what happens to the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. They're going to be a month behind. They're not going to be involved, and you're going to see all of the struggles that's going to cause them. Mm-hmm. Oregon's going to take a dive. USC's going to take a dive. Now, Oregon's got enough money in the program that it may not kill them.
Right.
But it's going to hurt because recruits families and things like that are looking at this going, they don't care that much. Mm-hmm. And now USC's finally sent out a letter to the governors of California to let them play. You're a little late there, hero. Right. If you were going to do that, you should have done it long ago.
I agree, and I think it will hurt the Pac-12. I'm trying to see if there is a statement that has been put out, because that's the thing I'm waiting to hear.
The statement hasn't come out yet. It's going to be announced later today, but it's been broken that's what's happening. I've been waiting for since 5 o'clock yesterday.
9:16 at 9:12 a.m. The Big Ten Conference. This is off of their website. Big Ten Conference adopts stringent medical protocols. Football season to resume October 23rd and 24th.
Oh, so they did finally announce it. Right. This was at 8:59.
The Big Ten Council of Presidents and Chancellors adopted significant medical protocols, including daily antigen testing, enhanced cardiac screening, and an enhanced data-driven approach when making decisions about practice and competition. They unanimously. To resume
Unanimously.
Unanimously. Well, They.
Where's that damn bell? Ring my bell again.
Ring the bell. The committee voted unanimously to resume the football season starting the weekend of October 23rd and 24th. The decision was based on information presented by the Big Ten Return to Competition Task Force, a working group that was established by the group of commissioners or presidents, Commissioner Kevin Warren, to ensure.
You're reading this way too in-depthly. I don't care about any of the minutia in this. Unanimously was the end of it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
They are coming out and saying, we fucked up. Mm-hmm. That's what this was. Mm-hmm. And now Kevin Warren later today is going to have to give the fait accompli of, I boo-booed. And he's going to say, the protocols are different now. Okay, just say what you mean. I fucked up. And you have told me that I did so, and now I've had to correct it.
Yep.
And I really want you to throw this on the end. And Jeremy Greene of ESPN Radio in Asheville, North Carolina, has been right about this since day freaking one.
From the onset of the pandemic, our highest priority has been the health and safety of our students. And the new medical protocols and standards put into place have helped us be able to move forward. Wow.
And come at the king, you best not miss. Good Jesus, what else have I said? What else can I be right about in an hour?
Again, like I said, insufferable.
You just gave me the Big Ten and the Nuggets in the same freaking day. You're lucky I didn't wear my Ric Flair robe in here because I considered it.
Anywho, back to
and to answer Robbie Wright's question, all teams are in. Unanimous decision from all chancellors. Every team will play. My question is, are they going to try to have a 9-game season? And I'm a level with you. I don't care. I don't care.
You don't care what they do?
Nope.
Just as
as long as you play a reasonable conference schedule. The only team from the Big Ten I'm letting into this anyway is Ohio State. Unless Penn State comes in somehow and beats them all, or Michigan comes in and beats them all. Other than that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're not, I'm trying to think of a mid-tier team in that conference. Minnesota is not getting into the playoff, no matter what they do. There's nothing they can do.
Even if
this is to say, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're not getting in over the Clemsons, Nebraska, or Oklahomas, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, on and on and on and on and on down the line.
Right.
The SEC has a huge market advantage here. But the good thing about this is that Kevin Warren's seen the light. And, now we're moving on to bigger and better things.
Yep. So we're a little over a month away from the Big Ten resuming competition October 23rd and 24th.
By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Any apologies for those I'm an idiot things that I got on Twitter and Facebook and all the other places? You can send your apologies to @JGreene ESPN on Twitter. That's where I accept them. A lovely card would be nice. Just a I'm sorry. That'd be lovely. Because I got inundated with you're an idiot and this is not going to happen and you're not listening to what they're saying.
Right.
No, I am. I just don't buy it.
Right.
And I never bought it because I knew what was going to happen. And you want to know what happened? Recruits started pulling out of Ohio State and pulling out of Michigan and started committing elsewhere, and they went, oh, shit.
Yep.
We have done boo-booed something aggressive.
Yep, because immediately when and I have to imagine that there were a lot of players as well that started talking to coaches about transferring.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, this number is way too."
Follow the NCAA transfer portal.
We don't get to hear those numbers. We don't get to hear those discussions. But I would love to know a number because I would imagine it's at least 15-20% of every team.
Follow the transfer portal. You can follow it online. I think it's at. I want to say it's at @rivals_portal or something like that.
Okay.
You can go to my Twitter and find it. It's real easy. Look how many guys from the Big Ten went into the transfer portal within 3 weeks of that announcement being made. Tells you everything you need to know. Because guys with options looked at this and went, the Big Ten does not care as much as the rest of these conferences do.
Right.
And that's what I said from the jump. And as soon as they saw how badly this was going to go, you have to understand, next year has to go as swimmingly for every one of these conferences as possible. From the NCAA tournament on, because that's when we stopped. We stopped at conference tournaments and NCAA tournaments. From there on, next year has to go as swimmingly as possible. For the Big Ten, the only way to do that was to find a way to be involved in the playoff and play your season simultaneously. And as soon as Urban Meyer came out and said, spring football's bullshit and it's not going to happen, I said that from Jump Street. The logistics of that are a nightmare. Winter football's not going to happen. It's not going to happen playing games in Ann Arbor, Michigan in January. That's not going to happen. And they're not going to take the expense to move them somewhere else because you got the whole football ops department that has to go, and it's going to cost a ton of money. Even let's say you go from Ann Arbor, Michigan to Detroit to play in the Lions Stadium.
Right.
There's a lot of expense there that never made any sense. I get that it's a dome. I don't care. You're incurring an expense that you don't have to for no reason. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, it feels so good. It's just... right now, I just feel like a dog that's just been sitting there waiting for his master to come home, and the second the door opened, it was just all the rubs behind the ears. And it's just been...
And that tail's just a whapping.
Oh, just hitting the wall.
Just going. Just banging that shit against the wall.
Oh, God, it's a good day.
All right, so we've got the official word now. And we will have, of course, more talk on that this afternoon as we dive in, because there are some other things in this statement that I can't digest just yet.
Yeah,
Something about green zones and orange zones.
Don't care. I don't care about any of that
out.
shit. I don't. The logistics of this matter none to me. As soon as you said the word unanimous, I went.
There it was.
Somebody play my music.
Yep, and you were right, and I was wrong, because apparently they're not going to do anything about old Kevin Warren. He's going to stay at the
because
the
you
forehead
can't.
For now.
Because you can't.
Or the forehead, the forefront. Is what
because
I
you
say.
can't. You can't look at him and say you made a decision as the commissioner of this conference, and now we're going to fire you for it. Because if you're wrong, it goes sideways. Now you've committed to not only was he wrong, but we were right.
Right.
And there's no threat, there's no anything. So if something happened and you had fired Kevin Warren, all the indemnity's on you. Now you're all a group. because you're all unified. It was unanimous to come back to play, and here we go.
Yep, they're all going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and play like this never happened. But I still feel like the fact that it did happen is still going to have an impact. It's still going to hurt them.
I don't know. I think it coming back now is. I think coming back now is going to help. I really do. I think that. Here's the thing.
Well, it mitigates what could have happened.
In 38 days, we're going to be back to normal. We're going to have football being played. I understand there's not people in some crowds, but there's people in a lot of them. I don't know how many games you watched on Saturday, but there were a lot of crowds that had people in them.
There were.
North Carolina looked like a little bit of an outlier, just to be, that's where we're centered, and let that be known. That was the only game I saw that didn't have people in the crowd, at least some. So,
yeah, they only let 25 people. Did you see that? Did you hear about
50.
that?
It's 50. 50 parents.
Was it 50 parents?
50 App State parents were allowed in the building. Because I read it and thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever seen.
No, I was talking about.
Because I screenshotted it and posted it.
No, I was talking about the Tar Heel game.
Oh, no, I didn't.
The Tar Heel, they only let 25 people in.
Oh, App State they let in 50.
And one of them was Roy Williams. Like, I wonder how he got that ticket.
Because he's Roy freaking Williams.
Roy fucking Williams. He can show up where he wants to, especially when it's on that campus. But yeah, they talked about it on the radio during the broadcast, and that 25 tickets was all that they were allowed to
Kevin
bring
Vick's
in.
on fire today. Just let that be known. Between what he said earlier, the Ric Flair comment, and now they unanimously agreed to play this morning, and Michigan's already ranked too high. Indeed.
Bingo. I think we might have well, at least we got a front runner for the comment.
Kevin Vick's on fire today, and I like
it. Anyway, before the breaking news, we were talking about Michael Thomas. What do you make of this? Do you think that they should put him on IR? Do you make anything of the disagreement between Thomas and the coaching staff?
Not really. This guy wants to play. He had a bad game. He wants to come back and make up for it. Michael Thomas is one of those guys that does not deal with bad games well. Keyshawn Johnson is his uncle, and he was talking about it earlier this morning.
Really?
Yeah, that's his nephew.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Michael Thomas is his nephew. He was talking about it earlier, that since he was a kid, he's always been this way. He has a bad game, and he is insufferable for a week. And then he has to get back on the field and make up for it, and that's what he's doing right now. And the Meds team is going, look, let's be honest here, Michael. We've already won our first game, which was against a division opponent. Our next 3 games are against the Raiders, Packers, and Lions. I think we'll be okay. Might lose to the Packers. Don't think we're losing to the Raiders and the Lions. So you get healthy. You be here when it matters. Don't make this worse.
Right. To fill in for injuries on its wide receiver core, the 49ers are bringing in Mohamed Sanu.
Woof. Woof. I saw this get a lot of press yesterday, and I'm like, why does anybody care?
It's the only. It was the only pickup yesterday, probably.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, their receiving core is not good. It's not Mohamed Sanu's going to get run bad. I mean, Debo will be back in a couple weeks.
Right.
It is what it is.
He's a piece. He's a third, fourth option for any offense, I think.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
The New England Patriots, who have the worst receiving core I think I've ever seen, and that's coming from a Jets fan, looked at him and went, no, we're good. We gave up a 2 for you. We'll just set that 2 on fire for 9 games of you.
If you can get him on the cheap, he's a body. And he's still got some. He's probably still got some gas left.
His greatest ability is his availability. There's really nothing else good to say about Mohamed Sanu.
Which is, well, and the reason that I bring this up is because I saw them listed as one of the teams that might be in the Allen Robinson sweepstakes.
The Allen Robinson thing is getting more interesting by the day. His agent came out yesterday afternoon after we came off the ESPN show and said he didn't actually request a trade. He just made it clear that he would welcome one.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing. Isn't it?
I was about to say that's a discrepancy without a difference.
Right.
I think he gets traded. I really do. I think Allen Robinson's going to get traded, and I think there's only a handful of teams. The Patriots are one. The Jets are one. I figured this out There was another one that made a ton of sense. San Francisco made some sense.
The Seahawks?
No, they've already got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and How High. Josh Gordon.
Redman.
Yeah,
They
got Snoop Dogg out there catching passes. It's not Seattle. I can't think of it now.
Baltimore?
Baltimore. There it is.
Okay.
Baltimore was the other team. Allen Robinson's a top 15 receiver in this league.
Mm-hmm.
This is a number one guy. And he's just tired. He wants to be paid like a number one because he is one.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep pointing to his stats and going, look, from a statistical standpoint, you're not a number one. That's because you've had Mitch Trubisky throw it to me.
For the quarterbacks that he's had throwing to him, yeah, he's a number one.
Hell yes. He went from Blake Bortles to Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
That's like getting out of a bad marriage and marrying a stripper in Vegas. Like, this'll fix it.
Right.
Ugh.
I think he could be that championship piece that one of these teams needs.
100%.
The Baltimore Ravens, San
100%.
Francisco 49ers, I mean, to me, that would push them over the top. That would even make the San Francisco 49ers better than the Arizona Cardinals.
No, it wouldn't.
You are out of your mind.
Of all days that you should not be taking a hardline stance against my dead in the wind picks, today's probably that day.
Hey, you can't win them all.
That's true. I can't win them all, but I'm on a hell of a streak.
The percentages are on my side.
I'm on a hell of a streak.
You are on a hell of a streak.
Right now, I'm just throwing sevens. Like I touch the dice, they land on 7.
Well, I think one of my favorite interviews yesterday was Odell Beckham Jr. did an interview where he said that plainly the Baltimore Ravens beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
By the way, just since you mentioned Odell Beckham,
Yeah.
He's not on the trade block. I have confirmed that from 2 different sources. I love people like Mike Francesa that do what we do, and they just go, "Hey, this makes sense. Let me say it."
Yeah.
And that's the reason that people take what I say with a grain of salt. I want this to be known that I don't say anything that I don't at least have a little confirmation on. Just like the Big Ten thing yesterday. And I can confirm this with somebody that's watching this show right now. I knew this yesterday. I just wasn't willing to say it because it was coming from somebody that has been super wrong since this started. Because I don't want to be the guy that said, "Hey, look, this is happening," and then Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel comes out and says it. It's a little different. There's some, there's some journalistic integrity there. Mike Francesa looks at Odell Beckham and goes, "Wow, 10 targets, 2 catches. Bet they're trying to trade him." Let me fire that off.
I don't think there's anyone left, though, in the sports world that believes
You're
Mike
wrong.
Francesa knows anything.
You're wrong. Oh, Mike. Oh. I thought you were headed down a different path.
No.
I don't know that there's anybody that ever thought he knew anything.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see him as.
I'll tell you,
Mike Francesa said it. It's got to be true.
Well,
no, he's a fucking retard.
Well, in New York, there is a section of New York that still thinks there's a section of New York that still listens to him religiously.
Oh, I'm sure there are. There's still a section of New York that watches baseball. So.
And thinks Andrew Cuomo's a good governor.
Speaking of your baseball team,
I've done well.
Your
to
baseball
not
team
say
got
that.
sold. He could care less. Stephen Cohen buying the New York Mets.
Hey,
Let's see if this one's
hold
gonna
on. We
work
got
out
more
any
breaking
better.
news here.
Holy cow!
Tank's wife just told us that the Big Ten is coming back in October.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Thanks, honey.
That's growth. She wasn't far off that.
She wasn't. She was not far off of that. I appreciate that, baby.
I do too.
I appreciate
She
more
didn't
than
miss
anything.
that by much.
Yeah, I appreciate more than anything you watching.
Yes.
Please don't get caught by your bosses.
That's
You're supposed to be
100%
working.
what I was trying to say.
No, she does a fantastic job.
She's going to tell me to go
done a
have
great
sex with
work
myself in the comments pretty soon. I wasn't being a jackass. I know
I
it
was.
sounded that way.
I was.
I know it sounded that way because, everything I say sounds that way. But I was not.
She's on top of it today. All right, Jeremy loves betting stories, so I saw this one and I had to bring it to him because this was a big winner over the weekend. BetMGM says there was a $10 wager placed on an 11-team parlay this weekend, and it hit And the winner took home over $152,000.
The only bad thing about this is he told me the teams in the parlay, and I went, one of those things didn't cover, and I can tell you that definitively.
Well, maybe it did at their book. Maybe he got it at a different number.
And he could have teased it. It's just I struggle to believe that you could tease one of the legs of this parlay and still have it cash out that high.
Right, 11-team parlay. The Georgia Tech money line.
He had to.
You've
start
got
with
so
that one.
many wins. You have so many wins. I have to keep you grounded somehow.
Like that undefeated regular season New England Patriots team. 18 wins, 1 giant loss.
Yeah. Arkansas State in the money line. Appalachian State's under. That was the one he said did not hit.
It didn't at any book that I saw, but he could have teased it. I didn't think about that.
North Carolina under. The Iowa State under. The Army under. Duke plus 20.5.
Which barely covered.
The UT San Antonio money line. He took the Roadrunners.
Oh, you didn't tell me that one. You
Yeah.
know they were down by 30, right?
Were they?
Yeah, they were down by 30. That game ended up in overtime. They won 51-48.
Jesus.
It was like 30-3 or something like that.
Wow.
And they came all that. That makes that even better. I want to good on this guy.
Wow. So yeah, he took the Roadrunners and they got the win for him. He also took Coastal Carolina and the Chanticleers against Kansas in the money line, which
So did I.
Jeremy teased as well. Yankees money line and the Rockets Lakers under. He hit all 11 bets, and his $10 wager ended up being $152,341.28.
Parlays are fun. They're usually lighting money on fire. But if you ever hit one, it'll make all the rest of them worth it.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
I've never tried to do that. I would never try to do that.
Secret time?
Never have I ever picked something and went, yeah, all 7 of those things happened.
Do you remember the week last year when we were doing the fantasy show? We did a show last year, just exactly like the web show we're doing this year. It was just on the radio. I had that week where I went like 13-3 against the spread.
Yeah.
I had a 12-team parlay, missed it by 1 leg.
Oh.
It would have paid 6 figures. I'll put it that way.
See,
it was a $20 parlay. It would have paid 6 figures.
Yeah,
I missed it by 1 leg by 1 field goal.
See, that would be a type of loss that just gets me out of gambling altogether.
Why do you think I drink all the time? I have a wonderful wife and a wonderful life. I have a great family. I think my father's listening right now. My life is fantastic, but shit like that is why I drink.
Yeah, see, I don't take losses well. One loss like that, I don't even care if it was a $10 bet. I'd be like, well, that's $10 I'm never setting on fire again. Could have been 2 packs of cigarettes, man. That's how I look at it anyway.
That's how I roll.
It's already been an eventful day. Jeremy has been able to gloat about his Denver Nuggets winning Game 7 of the series against the Clippers. They move on to the Western Conference Finals, and the Big Ten gives Jeremy another big win as they have officially announced that they will return to football October 23rd or 24th. That weekend
24th
is going to be the opening weekend.
Ring that bell.
It is the Sportsocracy. We thank you for tuning in with us this morning. Join us at the Sportsocracy on all of the social media websites. Like it, share it, follow it, and don't forget to hit that notifications button so you will know every time that we go live. Don't forget the cups and the shirts and all of that still available in the merch store. Link is in the description of this and every video that we post, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have a good one.
Yo, my cardio is infinite. Big Willie style's all in it.